From my perspective as a registered dietitian and a mother, I will compare 3 frozen fish products, 2 that are ready to go in the oven and 1 that needs breading. The one that are ready to go have added ingredients that increase calories, fat, sugar content that over time can contribute to putting on extra weight, those hidden calories. Plus, have added ingredients that skew the taste of what real fish tastes like. Let's have a look. We have all 3 nutrition fact tables. First of all, we have to make sure that all 3 serving sizes are the same. So this 2 are 110 grams, but this one has a fillet of 87. So I made calculations for 110. That's why I have this little taggy here. And I also made calculations for this one because I added breadcrumbs that I made from my bread and a little bit of oil. So let's start with this one. So calories I'm not going to look at. So like I said, we're going to go on the fats. Fats, this one without bread, it has 0.5 grams of fat and distributed in between saturated and poly, which is the healthy fat. With a little bit of added fat from the oil of cooking, it will more or less be 3 grams of fat. Sodium, about 150 milligrams. With the bread, it's about 230. So, but what is that number telling you? Not much. You have to look at this percentage here. That with 230 milligrams of sodium, it's 10%. This 10% tells you, the percentage daily value is telling you, it's giving you 10% of the total amount recommended or adequate to eat daily. So 1 fillet with the breadcrumbs, 10% of the total amount of sodium is providing you that 1 fillet. And carbohydrates, a little bit of 5 to 10 grams depending on how much breadcrumbs, and then protein 22 grams. Now if you switch to Jane's, this is a nutrition fact table. So in 1 fillet you have about 13 grams of fat compared to this one. Remember, it was about 3 grams more or less. 13 grams, so it's mostly unsaturated. It's probably the oil they use. We'll find out in the ingredient list. But I want to focus on sodium here. 310 milligrams, 13% of that percentage daily value. So quite a jump from this one, okay? Carbohydrates, 17 grams, so there you go. And this is all the bread they use, and we'll find out what type of stuff they use in the ingredient list, and a little bit of fiber, and 14 grams of protein. So you can see you lose a little bit of the protein in the processing of things, and these are the same type of fish, haddock. Moving on to the Highliner. This is a nutrition fact table. So for 110 grams of this fish, you get fat, 8 grams of fat. So a little bit less than this, but still more than this one. So 8 grams of fat, still distributed mostly on the monounsaturated, the healthy fats, not the saturated, but the healthy fats. Sodium, but this is the key thing. Look at sodium. It's 110 would be 543 milligrams. So I calculated 23% of your percentage daily value. That's quite the hike from this one and from this one. Carbohydrates, 21 grams, and a little bit 1 fiber, so a gram of fiber, the same as this one. And protein is 10. It will be about 12 grams if it's 110 grams of fillet. The ingredient list lists the ingredients to the ones from the one that has the most amount to the least amount of the product. So the products usually are made up mostly by the first 3 ingredients in the ingredient list. So let's start with the haddock, made homemade, added breadcrumbs and a little bit of egg. The one ingredient here is just skinless, boneless haddock fillet, plus the breadcrumbs, which is flour from a baguette, and then a little bit of egg. So that's it. Jane's here has Pretty much the first three ingredients are the same as this one, the blue line. So haddock fillets, water, and toasted wheat crumbs. Haddock fillet, this is sole, which is a different fish, but couldn't find the other one. But the fish, water, toasted wheat crumbs. Then it starts changing a little bit. It has this one wheat flour and another type of flour, cornstarch, yellow corn flour. And this one has modified starch, so it's a little bit of corn. Then both have salt. Salt is a little bit lower in here, so in more amounts here, and you'll see why. You remember this one has 543 milligrams of sodium versus this one that had a little bit less. So that's the first source of sodium. Sugar, both have sugar. So I don't know why they put sugar in there, but they put it there just to make it taste better probably. Baking powder, another place where it's a source you get the sodium. This one has sodium phosphate, which one this one doesn't have, but this one has modified palm oil, which is part of the oil, the fat. This one has 13 grams of fat versus this one has 8, so you can see where the fat is coming from. Both are browned in canola oil, so it's at the end, both are the same. And some spices here, onion powder, but this one has extra stuff. This one has butter, and then it has guar gum, citric acid, color, so they add color, caramel to make it look nice, and you'll see at the end I'll show you all three. Spices, lecithin, which is soy. So there you have it, the different ingredient lists from almost nothing, a little bit, and a little bit more. So last words, what would be the product I would choose from all three as a dietitian and a mother of 2 little kids? It would be this one, the wild haddock fillet with homemade bread, crumbs, and egg added, for 3 reasons. Number one, it's the product that you have the most control of what goes in. You're just simply getting this convenience frozen fillet, but then you're breading, choosing the bread that you're using as a breadcrumb and the egg or the liquid you're using. Secondly, this is the product that has the least amount of nutrients you want to avoid or reduce, which is the fat, number one. So remember, this has about 3 to 4 grams of fat. Also the sodium, which is the most important one to here. This one is giving you only 10% of the percentage daily value. This one 13%, and this one 23%. Almost a quarter of what you need of, or what is acceptable of sodium in a day. That's just one fillet and a little bit. Remember, percentage daily value, anything that goes over 15%, it's a very high value. And also this product has the most amount of protein compared to the other two, almost twice as much protein in the one fillet versus this one particularly. So you're getting a better nutrient content and reduced of nutrients you want to avoid in this product. Yes, for sure, in terms of convenience, the other two products take about 20 minutes from freezer to plate to be ready. This one takes 10 to 12 minutes to be cooked, to get cooked, and another 10, I would say 15 to make it, to bread it and put it in the oven. Yes, but that extra time is worth the content, the nutrition value of this product. You have the 3 cooked fish, and you can see the differences. For example, the sole here, it's perfectly shaped. They're all like this. The haddock from Jane's, they're very different, so you can see it's a nice fillet. And this one is the one I just made, and it's just out of the oven. So you can see this one is nice and brown, and it has the more salt. This one has a little bit less salt, but still nice and brown. You can see what's the effect of the sodium in the fillet, and this one doesn't have as much. and it's just the breaded, and the oil is what is giving the brown. So here we go, the test. I'm gonna try this one. You can see, still smoky. I like it. You can see inside. This one quite white. No white fish. This is more flaky than this one, so this one looks closer to this one as well. So that's another feeling of what you can get. This looks more like a fish stick. Alright, I hope you liked it, and see you next time.